Well, let's begin with the materials. We will need a brush. It's better if this brush is hard. Then we are going to use also mop pouch. This is a special thing that harder the porex. Paints. We need this hard red color, then a burnt amber and black. This is for the base coat. We will add it to the mop pouch. Then to do the boot we will use dark gray, neutral gray and light gray color. These are the base colors and the mop pouch. As I told you, mop pouch is a hardener for the porex. It will help it to stay well, you know, so if you heat it, it will stay strong. We need a little of this. Now let's go with this red. It's like a sienna red. I use this one because it's less expensive than Vallejo paints, but you can use Vallejo paints or another kind that is the same color. I cannot tell you the exact quantity of paint because I do it by eye, you know. So now the burn, this one, this brown, I use a lot, and now black, just to dark it. I use the generic one on all of them and remove. Well, as you will not find maybe the same colors I'm using, I will show you the final color I want, because if you just find this color anyway, or what I want is a brown, a dark brown, okay, with a little touch of this red color. So if you have any other kind of paintings that you want to use, you can totally use them. And the mop pouch is optional. It doesn't give color. It's only to harden the pieces, okay? And now we use water. I will use a lot of water, but careful. Add water little by little, okay? Because it's more difficult to repeat the color and to add more color than taking water out. So it's better to do it little by little. Here I will show you what is the amount of water I want, okay? It has to be like this. I want it liquid to get into the little parts of the piece. There it goes. Well, now we are going to apply it into the piece. Be careful to get this paint over everything, okay? Cover it well. One point, I am using this kind of porex that is blue porex, okay, but maybe yours is pink or purple or another color or gray. On the gray and blue, this color with just one applied, with one applying it only one time is enough, okay? But if you need to apply this color 2 times to cover everything, because the color of your porex is different and keeps I don't know, purple or pink, do it, okay? What we want is the final piece to have that color, brown. Now I'm going to show you what I use for the rest of the paint. I use one of these ketchup balls and I put it inside because it's really convenient. It's easy to take it out from there. And it's free, you know. So when I finish the ketchup, I just clean it and use it for my paints. Well, here we have the final result of the house with the base coat. Everything is painted, even the interior part, just in case we want to open it and play inside. Mod Podge, what it makes it strongest, the piece, the polystyrene piece. So let's continue painting. Well, now we are going to paint the wood. For that, the first color we are going to use is this, black gray, or dark gray, sorry. I am going to use this, a wet palette. A wet palette is a piece with a sponge with water, and then over I use this cooking paper that makes the paint to keep humidity. I just take some paint with the brush and take a lot of paint out. But I want the paint to continue wet, okay? I don't make a lot of pressure when I do this, when I'm painting this base, because I want to keep the brown down, to continue seeing that brown. It's like dry brushing, but this is not dry paint, so it's a semi-dry brush. It is important to keep the piece with all this gray tone over the wood. Well, as this is the first highlight, it had to cover a lot. Okay, we only have to see a little of that brown under. I want to see it because it continue being wood, and wood is brown, so it is really easy to do it. Here you have the final result of this first base coat. There are some parts I didn't paint, so I now finish it. Everything must be really good covered with this dark gray color. And as you can see, the brown is under, and the gray is over that color. Second light, we are going to use this color, neutral gray. It's a lighter gray. I use it over the other color because I don't care if they missed. I think it's even better. So I take a little amount of color and then I mix it. I take it out from the brush to dry brush. And this time I take more paint out. And this time I will be more careful when applying, because I want this tone, this color, on the borders and over the lines of the wood. As you can see, I'm doing it more carefully with the brush. I want to cover, but not so much than the other color, the dark gray. Here you will see better this technique. I take a lot of paint out of the brush and I'm applying from the border to the inside. So then there will be more paint on that parts that will be lighter. As you can see, the borders have a lighter gray than the interior part. But I will paint everything, even the interior, with this color. And now let's go with the door. Well, the frame of the door, it has more paint than the facade. The facade, sorry. I want this tone more lighter on those parts. Let's see it really quick because it's the same applying in all the piece.
Continúo con esta capa y ahora fijaros porque la fachada se ve muy claro cómo va iluminando ya este tono.
And now look how
Solo hay que
it's illuminating
aplicarle
this paint.
más.
You have to apply more of this color in those parts that have more light on the house. Here I'm showing to you that I'm pressing more on those parts that I want lighter.
La beta pues salga. Las partes que reciben más luz tienen que recibir más de este color.
Those lighter parts will have more of this color. Now that interior, I want it to be darker in the part that is close to the beam, as you can see. There is like a little line, a little brown line, okay? And here you have the final result of the second highlight.
Ya queda bastante aparente. Si os fijáis, se nota el marrón por debajo.
We can see the brown color under those grays, so we can continue seeing that that's good. And let's go with the third highlight, with the light gray. I'm using it again over the other color because I don't care if they miss it. I even prefer it. And this time I'm going to take a little of paint and a lot of paint off the brush. I want a dry brush. That will not be dry because this paint it's still wet, but you will see. Now I want to paint more some parts than others. Look, really softly you have to put some paint on those parts that you want lighter to keep the dark areas. And the beam I painted from the top to down, okay? So it will be lighter in that part. The same with the door. I paint more those parts that I want lighter. There we go. Okay, I will take more paint. And there we go with the next. The brush have a lot of paint still, okay? So I am controlling where I want the paint. That color, that light color. The same with the triangle. As you can see, I'm painting more those places that I want the light. And the middle part, I take paint again because it will be lighter, but just in the middle. I will paint from the middle to the laterals. You will see. There we go. And I highlight that part. So you will see there the light. There is the final result with more light there and less light in those parts in between the beam. Well, now you will see the same process really quickly. And there we go. Well, here we have the final result of the boot. Now we are going to do the roof. For the roof we are going to use this called red. I am using it over the gray, and as we did before, we are going to use a brush that have the air really strong. Well, I'm putting the paint on the place where the other paint is dry. I don't want to mix it with the gray, okay? And we are going to apply this paint over the hand, just where it, just in the external part, not in the interior, okay? I'm making like lines, as you can see, because I want to continue seeing the brown in the interior part, okay? I don't want to cover it there. So I just paint like doing lines. This base coat is the same as the gray at the beginning in the wood, so it has to cover. There we go. The roof, it must be really red, you know, this red with brown color. This is the final result, and now we are going to apply some orange brown. First highlight will be with orange brown, in this case with Vallejo colors. This time I don't want to mix it with the red color, okay? I use it in the palette in another place. And I use a lot of paint in the brush. As you can see, I want to see that orange over that red. I don't want to mix it a lot. You have to paint really carefully and cover the external part. Okay, don't press with the brush. And I keep a little part of red on the upper part. Okay, I'm making lines. Let's go quickly because this is always the same, and there you have it. There we go. Here is the final result with the second highlight. And let's go with the third and the last one. We are going to use this color, is ochre brown. This will give a more yellow color, okay? As yellow and orange are on the same way, we can mix it on the palette. As it's really difficult to get a good yellow color, I don't take a lot of paint out of the brush, okay? This time I want it with a lot of paint, but when you brush, when you use it, be careful. I want to see that yellow. So to cover, maybe you will have to paint 2 times with this color for the first time you do this technique, because it's difficult to illuminate with the yellow. What I'm doing is just, I don't press with the brush, okay? I will take more color than normally do with a dry brush, but I don't press. I want this color to be on the part that is over, you know, the part that is bigger, like the mountain. And also, I put more color in some parts of the roof than in others to make it different, not to be all the same, okay? And here is the final result with the third highlight. Well, here we have the final result of the painting house, and this is a good result for tabletop. But if you want to paint this house at the same way as I did with this one, the other one, you only have to do 2 more steps. So follow my channel, and on the next video you will see how to do this. I hope you like it, and I hope that you paint your own houses with this technique, And if you want to follow me, you can see me in Instagram, Facebook, and if you have any question, just leave your comments and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you later!